Raw, radical, and real. I'm going to find the definition of radical. Anyway, hello, Natalie.
Hello, Mark. So the thing is, like, we got a question, right? We got a question from
Yeah,
our participants, someone who has already registered for our upcoming Raw Radical Real retreat, which is happening in May next year in Belgium. And he was asking, he was saying actually, like, he understood the raw and the real, the meaning of that. And then he just asked, like, what do you mean with radical? Because it kind of sounds really radical in itself. So what do you guys mean with radical? And I understood that you just said, let me look that up for you.
yeah. I wanted to read the dictionary definition
Mhm.
because sometimes we need to look at these words and what they actually mean. And do we, is our definition slightly different from a dictionary definition? Like, authenticity says true to oneself, and then
Yeah.
we would say, well, which self, and we would take it further and would really look at that. So I thought I'd read this, and then let's see how it lands. When you read the dictionary definition, it says here, Oxford English Dictionary definition, relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something, far-reaching or thorough, like a radical overhaul of a system. Yeah. It can also be in the political sense, like someone who completely and thoroughly believes in something without question, right? Radical.
Yeah. Can I just share what two things are in there for me, and also what I actually get confirmed out of this definition?
Yeah, sure.
So radical, I think it was a beautiful sentence that you just shared from the dictionary. And what it relates to for me is to the word transformation, transform. You go beyond the form. That's actually the same thing as radical. At least that's what
Yeah.
I understood from the first sentence that you said, that you go beyond even the authentic expression of something or something. I don't know how you said it, but something like you go radically beyond, you go through, you go
Yeah, it's a fundamental shift or complete.
exactly complete
Yeah,
and other and
yeah,
complete shift. Second
yeah,
part is the inner truth of something, like
yeah,
the deepest and yeah, the deepest truth of something. The
yeah,
when you, like, clear everything, but that's also of
yeah,
course in the word raw, but it's in the radical as well.
yeah. I think I like the words complete and thorough.
Hmm.
So I know that sounds quite simple, but I do like that. Just practically speaking, to thoroughly look at something, to not like half look at it. Like, so whatever inquiry we're doing, say it's the law of polarity, or, you know, another particular aspect about, shedding the layers and getting real.
Or the
We're
victim
going to,
consciousness, for example.
yeah,
Remember?
let's
Yeah,
let's let's look at it thoroughly.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's no question left, because that was one of the definitions. When there's no question, like to the point where you get it thoroughly, completely, and fundamentally.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it is
So
it is on the
yeah,
other hand true that they are completely related to one another. Raw, radical, real. For me, it's they kind of like on in a layeredness emphasize on one another.
yeah. I
Kind of
think you
so
can't
many
you
things.
can't get to radical without raw and real,
Yes,
right?
correct,
Not in our definition. Yeah.
correct,
We're not
correct.
talking about radicalizing someone into a political opinion or something like that. We're talking about radicalizing them to see themselves
Yeah, yeah,
without distortion, without additives,
exactly.
coloration.
I,
Yeah,
I
like,
love
can
that.
you see
No
the
filter.
pure essence of yourself?
No filter.
No filter. Yeah.
That's the
Like,
one.
really, oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that way they are related. Yeah, true. What also
Yeah.
came up for me, like it just like launched something in my brain when I threw in that victim consciousness, which is one of the things which we are talking about in the Raw Radical Real retreats,
Yeah.
is when I look at when am I in victim consciousness, like I can just like um, tell myself all kinds of stories that I'm most of the time in creator consciousness or even going beyond to the next channel consciousness, whatever. But I was looking at like when am I still the most in victim consciousness? And I became aware of the fact that whenever I am frustrated about stuff happening in our society, and I'm like literally complaining, and I'm like on the defense wall of this is not correct and this should not be happening, and rah, 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 there is still kind of a victim consciousness in that.
Yeah.
So I needed to
Yeah.
become real about that part, that whenever I'm still not accepting the reality for how it is, and like pointing fingers to everybody out there and the government and the collective and whatever, I'm still in victim consciousness.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that because I've been sitting with an inquiry into that. So I do some work in corporates where you introduce, I mean, you would know the ladder of power, for example. There's a responsibility ladder, which Star Leadership used. There's victim to victor. There's conscious leadership, talk about the line and going below the line and above the line. So they're all pointed towards the same thing. But something that I've been having realization, and it's exactly what you're saying. People do these programs and then they think, okay, I must be above the line all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
it's unrealistic. And they have this perception, well, I've seen the tool, I understood the concept or the perspective. Now that means I now should always be above the line.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what I've noticed, the tool, if used wisely, is just to see how we are by nature as humans, mostly below the line.
Exactly.
Like pretty much a huge chunk of time we spend below the line. And the
Because we're
tool
living in a
shows us,
yeah,
yeah,
because we're living in a society which is
it's all, the society is
constructed.
below the line.
Yeah, no, no, but also it's constructed to keep us below the line.
Exactly,
That's the thing.
exactly.
It's constructed to keep us in victim consciousness, like everything which is making us
Yeah,
dependent of something is
yeah.
actually keeping us in victim consciousness.
And we should feel comfortable to recognize that rather than uh, because also embedded in there is that self-judgment. So, oh my God, look at me, I'm below the line. Oh my God, I'm a victim. Oh, da, 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 I shouldn't be. And that's a trap. It's a trap that keeps you below the line.
Exactly. And
So you should do it. Yeah.
I want to add even like a radical juice to that. Even in the
Radical
world,
juice. That's
a
nice.
radical juice.
Yeah.
Even in the world of personal transformation or personal development, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is also that going on.
Yeah.
Like there is part of this I don't know curriculum or this field of personal development or transformation
Yes.
when you are in the energy of I am not good enough. I need to become better. I need to develop myself more because I'm not yet there. Still victim consciousness. And
Exactly.
literally, people, certain leaders, certain trainers or teachers or whatever you want to call the organizations, they're profiting from that. Like, and then actually they're making sometimes even the people or the participants worse. So it's
Yeah.
about, for me, I wrote down this morning, like, oh, all of a sudden, like, it's not about personal development, it's about personal enrichment. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the right word in English. Hè? In Dutch, it is verrijking. It's not persoonlijke ontwikkeling, it's persoonlijke verrijking. So I'm already good as I am right now. And I'm curious about all these other aspects of mine, which I've never explored or which I have covered up or which I'm in denial of, but like I'm curious about them. Let's go and discover. Not like, oh, I'm not good enough. I need to be now that and that and that and that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
about being real and being radical.
Exactly. Exactly. And flexing the awareness of just seeing it, but
Hmm.
seeing it with, yes, curiosity. I like that word that you say, but also compassion, but also some kind of choice, like self-direction. Okay, I can see here. I can stay here if I want, like, and really go, like, why don't I, let me go deep into my complaining today. I'm going to be
Yes.
a king complainer. I'm
Yes.
going to complain the shit out of everything. I'm going to make other complainers wish they didn't complain. I'm going to complain so much because they're going to like, oh my God, is that, it's just, and
And you
then
know, yeah,
it's a
now it
choice,
becomes,
right?
yeah.
And then I can, okay, I'm done with that now. It's
And
like,
the funny thing is, like,
yeah,
if you go there, like a
yeah,
lot of the time, it becomes so freaking funny.
yeah,
Like you start laughing because you all of a sudden realize the ridiculousness of this,
yeah,
or you get so freaking mad at yourself
yeah,
that you're completely done with the situation.
yeah,
And I like
yeah,
that. That's also radical, by the way. So you take
yeah,
something, you blow it completely out of the proportion. It becomes so funny that you start laughing and the whole situation dissolves. And the
yeah.
other one is you become so irritated with your own victim or your victimness or whatever, victimhood, that you just like, you kick yourself in the butt. You're just like, okay, I'm done with
Yeah.
this. This is.
I've just had a thought now, and we haven't even discussed it. So I hope you agree. Otherwise, we're in trouble if you don't agree. But I've just seen something, like, like certain processes. You're talking about self-transformation and companies that they almost trap you into becoming followers, and you think, I'm not done until I've done the next one. The
Exactly.
advanced level or
Exactly.
the super advanced level. So
Exactly.
I did the 2-day retreat. Maybe I need to do the 10-day retreat, or maybe then So raw radical real, there is not going to be. It's not an entry to get to raw radical real advanced level 2. No. We're not doing that. So I'm saying to the world, I hope you bloody agree with me. Otherwise, we're not doing raw radical real advanced level.
Oh,
It's this one.
no, it's
We're
this
going
one.
all in. We're going all in, seeing what we can do. Of course, we might make it better and grow it and learn from
Obviously, I
it.
hope so.
Well, of course, yeah, but not as a way of capturing people to take them
Mm-mm,
then into
mm-mm,
advanced level stuff.
mm-mm,
It's not.
mm-mm,
It's this. Yeah.
mm-mm.
Okay. Are we
Yeah,
agreed on that?
I do. I was just like reflecting on
Yeah.
is it accurate? Like, yeah, it feels it's no, let me put it this way. When I put the training itself in the overview of the different states of consciousness, and this is something that
Yeah.
we're also explaining in the training itself.
Right.
When most of the people, you already said it, like most of the world is living in victim consciousness,
Yeah.
like all being like, being their thoughts, being their feelings, a lot of the time, like pointing fingers at the external world, all of that. And then if you're lucky, I wanted to say, like, if your time's up, you wake up. Yeah. You wake up through either
Yeah.
a personal transformation training or a very intensive event in your life, or something wakes you up. Like we, for example, in the past so many years of our professional experience, we've done this with the CC trainings, for example. But there are many of
Right.
that kind. You've also had conscious leadership. You have different contexts for that. And then, like when you wake up, the tool that you use to get into the creator consciousness, like you shift from victim consciousness to the creator consciousness, you take responsibility for your own life. You
Right.
realize you're not your thoughts and feelings. You take responsibility, you become the director of your life again. So then the next step, if you've kind of like already exercising a lot with that, the next step, you go into channel consciousness, which is all about surrendering to something bigger than yourself, trusting something bigger than yourself, putting yourself at service of something bigger of yourself. And I am already using the keyword for that transformation, which is from creator consciousness to channel consciousness, and the word is surrender. And
Yeah.
that's where raw, radical, real resides, in that space between creative consciousness and channel consciousness. So that's why it makes sense. Can you evolve further? Yes, you can evolve further. But I choose to be raw, radical, real in saying, honestly, guys, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting there in my lifetime. And I'm pretty sure most of us are not getting there in our lifetime. Like if we can all already manage to say most of the time in creator consciousness, and then have glimpses or peak experiences in channel consciousness.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like that's already huge.
It's massive. It's massive when
To
you
go
look at
to
what's
the
going
last
on.
stage,
Yeah.
which is one consciousness. And then on the other side, should there be a training about that even? It kind of doesn't make any sense to me. Like to create a training that takes you from channel consciousness into one consciousness, like being conscious. Like, no, because when you're there, you're there. Like, what are you gonna do?
It's its own thing anyway. Like we just I think the gateway to anything like that is pure surrender, and then just trust. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beyond us. You know,
And get
that's
yourself back in the saddle every time
yeah.
you fall
That's like
back.
a gorilla trying to teach a bird trying to teach a gorilla to fly.
Uh-huh.
I just completely invented
Pick
that.
that up. I know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It might make no sense, but it weirdly does make sense in my
It does
mind.
make sense. Totally,
Yeah.
because I know you.
Yeah.
So no, so it's part of the. I kind of gave away already a little bit of content of our,
That's okay.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
but that's actually where we're going into, huh? In
Yeah.
Radical Real.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether you want to add something more about that today or not, or we leave it at this for now.
I quite like that we keep this one short
Yeah,
because we did
and
speak.
radically pure.
Yes, exactly. We spoke a long time the past two ones. We've done two. This is our third, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we get to the point.
Okay.
Beautiful. Job done.
So
Answered the question. I hope we
yeah,
answered the question.
we did. I think we did
Uh,
answer the question, and there's always room for more questions. So feel free to send us an
Hopefully,
email.
yeah, I hope it throws up another question for others. So
Exactly.
yeah, good.
And by the way, since we're like coming to the completion of this one, I can already share as well that we have so far we have five people who signed up for
Brilliant.
our retreat happening from the 16th until the 19th of May 2025, and it's happening in the Heerlijkheid van Elsmere in Geetbed. So that's also confirmed. We already paid for the advantage. No, that's not called advantage. It's called upfront payment, whatever. So it's
Deposit?
happening. It's
Diffi
happening, Mark.
Difficult word, deposit. Yeah, it is happening. It's happening. So I will be getting my Schengen visa and spending a bit of time in Europe.
Yes,
Uh, so I look forward to that too. It's been too long.
it's been
Yeah,
it's been too
I want
sure.
to see your daughter as well. How she's grown beautifully. That's going to be amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, listening, and if you feel like you have any more questions, feel free to mail us or send us just a direct message. For the practical information, the information is all on the website www.the what's it called? Streepje.
Well, you should know.
I
Don't
don't
ask
know what
me.
it's called in English. Streepje. It's what do you call it?
What? I don't know what you're doing with your finger.
The
What's that?
lighthouse. There's this little thing between. What's it called in English for the
Thing
website?
between thing
Between the two
between what?
words. Between the two
U
words.
URL?
No. So
Oh,
www.
hyphen,
Hyphen. Oh my God.
hyphen. Yeah,
Hyphen. I'm gonna look that up. It's a new word.
yeah,
I've never heard of
hyphen.
it.
So
So
my surname is Mark Fraser hyphen Grant.
yes, that's the
There
first
you
time
go.
in my life I hear this word. So again, www.the in English hyphen lighthouse.be. What's this called in English?
Flash.
Slash. Oh, that one I did know. Raw Radical Real, and you find all the information on the website.
You look so cute when you're doing this weird stuff.
And you can register yourself. So we are
Yeah,
very much looking forward to have you with us and to explore this beautiful, beautiful, deep, expansive, raw, radical, real journey together with us.
Yeah. And you can be completely yourself, just like Natalie demonstrated. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. See you next time.
Tootsies. Tootsies. Okay, I'm stopping it now.